What is up? Welcome to the August 2023 market update. And if you've got kids, you're probably just getting back into the swing of things. School started for most everybody here in Arizona. It's hard to believe that summer's over when it still feels so hot, but I guess we're all used to that here. So lots of things have happened since the last update, and I guess kind of nothing also. So I want to fill you in on what's going on in the market, give you an update on that Fed and interest rates, and then I kind of want to talk about a couple conversations around interest rates that I've had, interestingly, with some clients the last couple of weeks. As it relates to our real estate market, there's just a lot going on and also kind of nothing, and that's really different from what has been happening in the last few months. Our inventory is still really low, buyer demand is a little soft, and at the end of the day, that's kind of creating an equilibrium in our market. We're still just about a little over 11,000 active listings. Our sales are about the same. Average sales price is about the same. Everything's kind of been holding steady this summer. No big swings. We had a Fed raise of a quarter point on the interest rate last month. If you pay attention to the Fed at all, you know they're not gonna meet. They go to Jackson Hole and I think fly fish and hang out and talk policy, but there's no policy changes that happen in August. That's not gonna be till September 20th. So we'll kind of be watching that to see what the Fed does in September, watching those inflation numbers, watching those employment numbers to see where the Fed's gonna kind of land on that whole situation. As it relates to our housing and what's gonna happen into the fall, I get the impression, and my gut is, that some of what we're seeing right now is seasonal. Since COVID, we're actually back to what we would call normal seasonality. It's really normal for us to see July and August be kind of slower months for us. And that's just because it's 1,000,000,000 degrees here and school's gonna start and people take vacation. And honestly, people with means typically leave at least Metro Phoenix, head up north, head to the beach, whatever they're doing, and they don't transact as much. So actually, kind of a funny statistic, but the average sales price in July in Phoenix actually goes down every year. And it's because that top end of the market, we see a lot of those people wait to transact until after they get back in and the summer, heat is gone. So I don't think it's really a trend. I think it's just back to seasonality like we had. I also wanted to kind of just touch base on something and some interesting conversations I've had around interest rates, especially with some of our clients that are a little younger, but really kind of across the board, and two in particular. And both of them had to do with clients talking about keeping a property they own already because the interest rate is low and being scared to lose the interest rate. The interest rate alone isn't a good reason to keep a property. You have to think about yourself, your lifestyle, what you want. Do you want to be a landlord? Do you want to own real estate as an investment? Or, is that not something you want to deal with as part of your portfolio, as a part of your investment strategy? They might be having an emotional reaction to their interest rate and the loss of a low interest rate more than they are having a kind of logical response to, do I want to own a rental house right now, or can I afford to own a rental house right now? On the other side of it, we get a lot of it with our buyers where they're like, oh, the rates are high, I need the rates to come down, and then, we want to do these things. It's really thinking about what you want. So what I would encourage all of you to do is think about the decisions you're making as it relates to real estate, separate from the interest rate, because at the end of the day, that interest rate and that emotion around that might stop you from buying when really right now would be a perfect time for you or your family to buy, and it might stop you from selling even though that's really truthfully the best outcome for you. That kind of fear of making a dumb decision on the buying side, am I the guy that's gonna pay this high interest rate and then do all this and the market's gonna crash? Or on the selling side, what if I sell and my interest rate's low and then I never get another house with a low interest rate like that? Those are good things to think about, but they're probably not good reasons to do anything in and of themselves. There should be other reasons you're keeping the property than the interest rate. The only reason you're not buying it is the interest rate. You can afford the payments, it's where you wanna be, it's the house you love, all of that stuff. And the only thing that's holding you back is just that kind of psychology around the interest rate. Also probably not the reason not to buy right now. Try to analyze why and figure out how much of this is emotion and how much of this is just kind of layered in fact, and make your decisions that way. Anyway, if you have any questions about any of that, please reach out, give me a shout. We'd love to talk to you. Hope you have a great month, and we'll see you next time.